we're going to start with an energy update for the month of April. If we like to divide time, sometimes it's helpful to work in increments and understanding. Sometimes our mind needs to be assured, but our heart knows there's actually no such thing as time, really. But there is such things as energy, feeling, emotions, and how we've been navigating these times, because we are all connected. And of course, I work closely with the collective energies. I feel them, I sense them, I receive a lot of guidance and downloads at night from my inner guides and my cosmic family. But today I was really prompted to do a live one. If you want to put headphones in just for the light language to come through and the sounds, please do so. I will be talking a little bit first, just really getting into different aspects of the energetics and the astrological configurations, the planet being as portals and knots of energy that are connected directly also with our magnetic fields and our energy, because everything is interconnected and everything is being weaved through. We're feeling all these energies, regardless whether we have those conscious or unconscious thoughts about what it is, that energies that we're feeling. And in the end, it matters not whether you understand or want to know all the aspects. What it's important is that how can you connect to this? And so when you feel them, it's like the weather, you're ready. Yeah, you're ready to navigate them. It gives us it allows us to be more guided and more in tune with what's going on. All right, 2 more minutes. I'm just going to tune in now to my inner guidance. I ask you to connect to your inner self, inner wisdom, your highest self, bringing in our highest vision from our heart and clarity of thought and expression. And I invite my cosmic family to come through as well at this time and support this transmission as I am being guided to give it. Iwarishta ekeshti amahate arakia akwa ekea ehate easakia tishnawa. Wate a eka enishta wa era a asa iakahiawa. Maherea anaha ima e aria anashtiwa. O era waria ana. Okay, welcome everyone, welcome. Whoever you are right now connecting here and now or later in the now, I welcome you. My name is Miri Naad and I've been prompted today by my inner guidance to give a life energy transmission for the month of April. And of course, I do not view time as separate or blocks, but it helps to deal with if we know this is what's happening between this time and this is where we're at. It's just peace of mind, I guess. Some of us are wired into understanding first. Some of us feel first and need to understand later. Whichever way you're being now, I thank you. Namaste all. So every month I give kind of like an energetic update of what's transpiring at a energetic weather, and also at a cosmic weather, galactic in the sense of the configuration in planetary play, how all these planetary bodies are creating energetics between them. And because we are in a beautiful mothership of Earth, floating, and we're having a play in this alignment, and we're all inside this planetary body, of course we're not separate for everything that is coming through. So if we have a very strong stream of solar energies sweeping through the planet itself is going to be charged with this energy, and is going to start putting it and moving it through her body, through ley lines, through mountains and rivers, through charging the sky with the weather. And so then it starts trickling down to everyone, because we also have a magnetic field, an energy field, just like the planet does. And so we start feeling it first as a charge, and some of us might feel it as feeling exhausted, really tired, really low energy. Some of us feel the opposite. We feel really kind of like really wired up, and we need to really do a lot. Some feel really anxious because the energy in their body perhaps it's not flowing as usual, and they trying to understand, and they get a lot of pressure in the head, headaches. Some of us can't sleep at night. There's so much going on. I personally receive a lot of my guidance and downloads and transmission light codes that I work with at night, and I'm more used to it. Of course, it doesn't freak me out anymore to open my eyes in the middle of the night and see things, beings, orbs, you name it. It's or listening or hearing things. And now I'm more stepping into my truth, and being able to express this without the fear of judgment. And so for April, what's happening really, tomorrow we're on the 3rd here in New Zealand. Tomorrow in New Zealand we step into the 4-4, and the 4 has a very strong aspect of Namba. It's the square, it's the foundation, but the 4-4 is both the first pillar, the foundation, and the upper pillar. The together they do the 8, which is we know as the infinite, and it's also the 2 aspects of the self, the physical and the spiritual. The energies of the 4-4 also prompt us to look at ourselves in the mirror, the inner mirror, and the outer mirror. So whatever we are seeing outside, in any way, it's a direct reflection of our inner selves. So this is very interesting, because it takes a lot of courage to look ourselves in the mirror and going, well, if I am viewing the world as not trustful, or impatience, or people not listening, or whatever it is that you are observing, you gotta look at it from the inside perspective. What is it in me that I still need to work with? Is it really hard for me to trust my own voice? Am I still needing validation outside, acceptance, all of that? So the energies that are entering the planet are very charged in energy and frequency. So which means we are purifying. There's a lot of clearing happening at an emotional level. So for those of you and me particularly as well, that we can feel this happening. A couple of days ago, I really felt this sense of confidence. Suddenly things that would come up and going, wow, why suddenly I feel like there's a sense of disconnection and lack of trust in the collective. People not trusting each other, a lot of this kind of constant I'm not sure what you're saying, I don't trust what you're saying, no, that's not the way, my truth is the way, and your truth, and we can get really butt-headed there, right? In that frequency of my voice against your voice, or this is the only way. And what happens with that is we keep energizing that game of separation. And so what has come really strongly lately for me and for the collective through my guidance and through the galactic guidance at the moment is two things. One is patience. Patience is key, because everything takes its time and everything takes its process. And I know we all at times might feel, I'm ready to take this on, we're really ready. What is happening? Why is it taking so long? And in all aspects of our lives, from driving to projects that we're running, to the bigger vision for humanity, right? And so it can be very tricky to navigate life if we are feeling that things are not flowing, because we're putting that out there, that impatience imprint. So we need to really step back and be more into our neutrality, and allowing things to have their own rhythm. People have their own rhythms. Of course, it takes also direction. So it doesn't mean letting it go and someone else will do it. It means I take one step back, I observe it, I allow it to see what's going on, but I keep my intention and I keep my action. Maybe I'm not going to go at a certain pace. Maybe I need to slow my pace, yet I'm keeping my pace, and I'm keeping my truth, and I'm keeping my voice, and I'm keeping what I am putting forth. And we are learning very fast that now is the time for inner discernment as well. People are taking their time, because there's an overwhelming amount of information everywhere in general. We're being constantly bombarded with sometimes really opposite belief systems. And it's really challenging to go, hold on a second, can I just stand in defense here for a second, just for me to align with, right? And it really need to trust that. And so here's what happens with the trust. I watched the movie yesterday with my daughter, and I was literally crying of joy because of what was being shown. It felt really like a remembrance for me. But also, I had this moment where I thought, it really takes a leap of faith. It really takes a leap of faith to trust. And trust is the biggest issue we're having as humanity and as a collective. It's really hard to trust because we've been carrying years of trauma around trust. Everyone's got trust issues. Everyone has trust issues. We all do, because we all do at any part in our lives and time. Someone has or something has let us down, even ourselves as well. And so we start there. Do I trust myself? Do I truly trust my intuition? How many times have I felt something and didn't follow it through because I wasn't sure, I was not 100% trusting my inner knowing. And then it happened, and then I'm going, I knew it. Why didn't I listen to myself? Or that person, or that feeling. So the trust is the biggest thing we can anchor in ourselves right now. At an astrological point of view, we are tomorrow where Mercury enters into Aries. Mercury being the planet of communication, and ideas and information, and it's aligning now with Aries, as we're in the season of Aries at the moment, and it's all about aligning with the energy of direction and action. So we are ready to speak what we've been feeling, what we've been holding on to. Are you ready to speak it in a very clear way? This first week is very, very important. Whatever you need to write, talk about, discuss, this is the time. This is the time before it gets a bit murky by the mid of the month. Yeah. So it's very important that anything that you've been feeling like it's been on the background, we have this feeling, there's something I need to say, or there's something we've been wanting to talk about, in whichever way it's happening in your life. This is the time to really start going through that, because we will be able to express thoroughly, and very clearly and fiercely, that fire force. What am I needing to communicate right now? What is it that I need to do right now? So this is very, very important when it comes to that. Later on, we will have, on April the 12th, we will have the new moon. And so new moons are always a good opportunities, like the 0 point. It's like that space where anything is possible. So what you're putting there with your intention, what you're projecting there, it's what's gonna move forward, especially in the Aries time. In this new moon on the 12th of April, it's very, very important to set your intentions and get very, very crystal clear by trusting yourself. You trust that you know what you know, and any information that's coming your way is because you need to hear that. Even if it's disinformation, even if you feel at the moment, oh, I'm not sure, I'm hanging in the thread here, that sounds very crazy to me, put a pin in there and going, okay, inner trust, how can I do this? Rather than out there, do I trust the person? What are their intentions? I'm not sure, and we get really nitty-gritty about that. And the truth is, if from the start we're not in a trusting position, we're always going to find something. We're going to find the hair in the soup, if we want to find it. So it comes back to the trust. Trust is a big one. And once we build the trust in ourselves, in our inner knowing, in our discernment, and really getting there, you need to build that, strengthen that, then it's easier to go, okay, I'm going to trust myself, because myself is telling me I'm able to trust you, or I'm able to trust this movement, or I'm able to trust this information, or I'm able to trust this feeling, whatever it is, whether it's staying in bed or going out or doing whatever you feel like you need to do in the moment. See, we're gonna have a full moon by the end of the month in April 27th in Scorpio, and so before that we're gonna enter the Taurus era time on April the 19th. And if you're a bull or a Taurus, Venus will be aligning with you, and we know that the energy of the Taurus it's really about they come in, and if they need to clean up something, they clean up something. If something needs to get done, it gets done. If something needs to be communicated fiercely, because this is the way I feel it needs to happen. They do that. It's like the bull in the china shop, and sometimes the bull is needed. It's not very popular at times, because if it can create that inner havoc at the start, woo, and then actually that shattering was needed so that you can see what can we build from this. So when Taurus energy comes in the middle of the month, that inner trust might have to be already built as a foundation. Then the energy is gonna come boom like a bull. This is what we need to do now, from this trust and this perspective and this power. And so a big cleanup will happen at collective level very, very strongly, and then it will be amplified by the full moon of Scorpio transformation. So we're moving from the fire sign of Aries to the earth sign of Tauro very strongly in this month. From all this sense of I need to do this, I need to activate this, I've been wanting to do whatever it is, and then it's going to land, and then it's going to be amplified by the electric waters and power of the Scorpio moon. In between, there's going to be a lot of challenges here and there, but if you know this, just stay in your truth, stay in your discernment, no matter what, no matter who's pushing your triggers and your buttons or doubting you. It's very interesting, because when you step in the foundation of trust, no matter what someone is telling you, no matter if someone is challenging you or questioning you, you're able to say, I understand it's difficult for you right now to trust what I'm saying, so I invite you to trust yourself. And it's okay. Everyone has a choice to trust themselves first. And they might not agree with what you're saying at the moment, because they're trusting themselves. And that's what they're needing to do. And that's okay too. Otherwise, we can get into this energetics of blind faith. If it's not, if it doesn't have a foundation in trust, right? But here comes a tricky one. Once you're in that trust, then we need to take a leap of faith. And leap of faith only happen pretty much when we're desperate. And I tell you what, as a collective right now, and the human experience that we're going through a split of timelines. It's what it is happening right now, and maybe it's the first time you hear this. I prompt you to do your research. We are experiencing a split of timelines. Some people have said it's two earths, but how I see it is as a spiral, because I work with the Kundalini energy. I teach Kundalini yoga, and so I really work with my body, how I constantly navigating the spirals up and down in our bodies. And we are actually electric beings, energetic beings, constantly navigating these spirals. At a planetary level, we're doing the same. We're navigating spirals, the ascending spirals and descending spirals. But more and more, that there's a split of timelines where we have a frequency vibration in the planet that is keeping everyone in a certain degree of fear and control, yeah, and we call it the descendant spiral or the lower spiral. It's a frequency that keeps us in fear, in disconnection. It's a very low frequency. That what happens is that instead of expanding you and connecting you with the trust of everything and understanding yourself as this expanded divine being, is the opposite. You feel that you are not safe, that everything is against you, that you have to fear life and others, and so you like dim your light. You really shut down. And so there is a big amount of collective of people that are choosing to stay in this very lower timeline where they, for some reason, are not ready or they're not able to connect to their inner power and understand that there's no such thing as fear, in a bigger sense, that they can go through the fear and trust and know that there are bigger aspects at play, and that we're needing to actually increase our frequency so we step out of that darkness, that sense of mistrust and fear, and we step into a higher frequency, which is the higher spiral, which is all about freedom and sovereignty and connection and family and tribe, and understanding that together we're very powerful beings, and we have a choice to co-create and generate a new world. So this is already happening. A lot of people are already connected and moving through these ascending spirals, creating a new world with endless abundance and all kinds of the most idealist world, the utopia. And it's okay if you think, oh my God, that sounds a bit far off. I understand, again, inner trust. It might feel like that, but that's where the leap of faith happens. You gotta truly believe it, because that's how you connect to it. Yes, and so the split is happening. It's inevitable. Systems of control are gonna get stronger in those people that need that, or feel they need to be controlled in a deeper level. They can't decide for themselves, and they need to follow blindly whatever it is they need to follow, because they are in tune with that frequency, that low frequency, and that lower spiral. So the split is happening. And so here we go with the 4-4, April 4, or the mirror, the inner mirror, yeah, the two foundations. Where are you stepping yourself into? What's your foundation going to be? Is it going to be based on trust? Trust? Just trust, or doubt? Trust and doubt. And so if you step in the trust and you take that leap of faith, you jump, and you trust you're going to be catched, you're going to be held. And this can happen in many layers, in many levels. From leaving a job that you don't like, to knowing that you're going to be sustained economically, to stepping into a relationship that feels like it's out of your comfort zone and you're going to grow a lot, to leave a relationship that perhaps is very abusive and it's not letting you grow, to trusting your inner voice and for the first time saying, no, thank you, I won't do that, or no more. This is where I put my boundary. Or asking for what you need. Stepping into that, trusting. I'm going to trust what I need. I'm going to say it out loud. So the trust and the doubt. We all know about the fear and the love. And we've been working with it deeply. Yes, of course, very, very important to step out of the fear into the love. But to love, you need to trust. Yeah? When there's no trust, if there's no foundation of trust, it gets really tricky, because then there's no foundation. Yeah, it can be an illusion. It could be a dream, right? But when it's founded in trust, in your inner knowing, then it's easy to follow. Yes. So this is really what's happening at that level. So I'm gonna stop talking now, and I'm just going to bring in a transmission, a short transmission with light language and sounding. So I'm going to invite you, if you want to do this. It might be, normally it's about 5-8 minutes, maybe less. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. Sit in a comfortable position and allow this transmission, as it will come into and sweep through any inner doubts that you may be having and holding on at cellular level, at DNA level, in this life, in this timeline, and in all timelines. And closing your eyes and taking a deep breath with me and allowing Ikuashta, ikuashta, ikuashta mahayara, amahate alika awaki aranasa. Yakari anaha yakashti akwaye 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 kawa. Ya arua akishti akashti amaha ayakishtiwa. Ara uafa ehate akia ekea amaha eanaha yasa. Ma ara wakia ya akwaye Namaste. Mahira ekishti waye. Amaha eaga eataki estakashti. Amahia naha seafa oakia seke ata imahia deshti. Fa ea ara amaha enea ina a oakia tiaha. Ini a ema ekishti ama. Oa sasa era etete. Braki etin maha eshti wa eke. Ekoasa, imeaha, erea eshtiwa, inea aha neata, era eshtiwa. Emoye, aoye, emoye, akiaoye. Imashtia, imahatia, ere a uashtia wa. Ya kastia. Emashtia. Namaste wa nahi a ea kia wa esa amahia amastia wa emia ana ea kaya ma ea kaya awa esa ya Sofia rakia nashtia. Calling all women right now, calling all women to step into their pure heart, that loving, most pure aspect of your heart that knows how to love and how to trust fully, strongly, with that mother aspect of ourselves, that fierce, strong, loving, clear mother within us. And it comes strong yet soft as a wave of crystal clear, luscious energy that cleanses anything, everything around us. So calling that goddess archetype within, the sisterhood within, the motherhood within, the sage within, the strong fierceness within, the lioness, the ego, the healer, from the heart, not from righteousness, not from anger, from love and trust in your gifts, in your wisdom. So sending a wave of trust, we need to go back to trust ourselves and trust others. We need to trust each other fully, engaging with that, and your inner knowing knows that. And then we take a leap of faith, because we have to. We have to release and let go of any doubt, separation, or fear. And we step fully into the trust of who we are, what we're here to do. And then everything just happens, because we're very, very close, very, very near a big, big shift. And we've been working hard. And some of us, we've been doing this for 20, 30, 40 years and more, lifetimes. So patience, dedication, trust, love, diligence. We got this. Gotta keep doing it together. All right? I'll leave you with this. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. And if you listen to this later on, you'll receive the transmission regardless, and you're ready for it. I love you. HASHTARA'stan. Namaste, Miri Naad.